now we're online, and the clock is now 9. So, in that sense, we're good. And we're just waiting for another participant, Henrik Storm. He will be here shortly, but we will start slowly talking about tonight's subject, which will actually be combo decks, or combos in general. And tonight we have the guest here is Emil Thirup Sorknæs. So the question is, can you tell me just a little bit about yourself?
Well, yes, of course I can. Thank you for letting me be here, and thank you for inviting me to talk a bit about old school combos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I have done to earn this honor, but I'm really glad that you invited me. A little bit about myself. I'm Emil, and my last name is impossible to pronounce in English, and it doesn't matter much. I've been playing Magic for I think 23 years now, and only for the last I think 3 years or something I have been bitten by the old school vibe, and I really enjoy playing combo, and I played it in I guess every format almost, standard, vintage, legacy, old school, even commander, because I don't like friends, I guess. So I have played a lot of combo, and I really enjoy the power of magic cards when you combine them correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Uh, for me, control and combo are like the things that glue the game together. To be honest, so
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And also, to be honest, I really don't. I really can't figure out combat math. It's killed me so many times, much more, many more times than fisting. So,
yeah,
so that's another reason, to be honest.
yeah. Hi, Henrik.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you.
Yeah, I'll just fix the screen a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, not that button. Like that. Then like this.
Ooh.
so Emil, I have to ask you, is this casual day because you're not wearing a butterfly?
Yeah. It's because it's not Friday. I have the
Oh,
Friday bow tie. I think
yeah,
it's
bow tie. Yeah.
yeah, running for I think 6 years now. I think this Saturday the 11th of July, I have my 6 years anniversary for Friday bow tie, and I think I missed one, maybe
Okay,
two.
that's very impressive.
Yeah, I'm not sure impressive is the right word, but I like the tradition of wearing a bow tie every Friday,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and hopefully my surroundings do too.
yeah. I think it's cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like it.
Wow, cool is another word I'm not sure I heard, but thank you, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's see if I do like this. Yeah.
But I would say to everyone who listens, it's a great idea to wear a bow tie every Friday. Your surroundings are likely to think it's cool, as Simon just said, or something like it. So,
Yeah.
and of course, do someone that you bind yourself, not the pre-bound things.
The clip-on.
No clip-ons. Always bind it yourself, otherwise you don't know where it's been.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then everything is here correctly now. So now you have names, everybody, and I think the chat should be working also. So in that sense, we're ready to go.
Right.
And we just had an introduction from Emil, telling a little about who he is and why he loves combos. And then I think we should just jump into the subject, you know.
Yeah.
What defines a combo? What is good synergy and what is like control and so far? How do we actually define a combo deck? Or how do you define a combo deck, Emil?
Yeah, that's a really great question, a really big question to begin with, because it's very, very difficult. I'd say, as I said before, I've been playing combo decks for about maybe not 23 years, but about 20 years, I guess. And I mean, there's a big difference between a combo, which is a combination. A combo is short for combination of cards, and then a combo deck, because combo decks sometimes don't even contain great combinations of cards. I mean, not two single cards that are great together. We talked a bit about it before, Simon, but the Tendrils decks of Vintage and Legacy, they don't contain any two card combos. They contain Tendrils of Agony, which is in this sense a one card combo. You just build a deck around it. And
Yeah.
so defining a combo, I think, is very, very difficult, because I mean, if you just define it as a combination, or as a combination of great synergy between two or more cards, I think that's way too broad. I guess, yeah, it wouldn't. Maybe you should have something in the sense, in the definition, that it also will kill people or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Henrik, do you have a
Yeah,
better?
I think something that I always considered was a combo is something that can create some kind of loop. I think the first time I got introduced to what I would call a combo was actually sneak attack deck. And that's the first deck that I built and played, and there was a combo in it with I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a big bird, and every time it goes into the graveyard, it comes back to your hand. I think it's called some kind of phoenix. I think it's a legacy card,
Oh,
red card.
Shard Phoenix, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it's like I think it's 3/5 or something like that. And the combo was that I would always have a creature in my hand. So that was for me a combo, a loop I could continue to do, yeah, every turn. And it didn't kill because it only dealt 3 damage or stuff like that. But it was like something that I would. The combo was that I always had it.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was a combo with I think it's called Lifeline, and every time a creature goes to the graveyard, if you still have another creature in play, it comes back. Yeah, and I also consider that a combo, even though you don't necessarily kill your opponent. So that's like in my head what a combo is, something that you can, yeah, work well together and can create some kind of loop, not an infinity loop necessarily, but a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's interesting, because then Channel Fireball wouldn't be a combo in your definition, by your definition. And I don't disagree
No,
with you. It's just
yeah.
that doesn't create a loop.
Yeah, no, but I also think that a combo can be also something that kills people. I just tried to say that I also think that the other thing is a combo.
Yeah.
So you could say that sneak attack with Sarah, I think it's Sarah Avenger or something like that. That one that has power and toughness equal to your
Oh,
life.
yeah. Sarah
Yeah,
Avatar.
so yeah, Sarah Avatar, yeah, that can kill in one turn.
Yeah.
So you can make it like a kill combo,
Mm.
or what you might call it, but I also think the loop in itself is a combo. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the definition of combo can be multiple things, but sometimes it can be an endless loop. Or I think it was with the lifeline that you actually could make a loop where it would be a draw, or was it with the dragon combo? I
Yeah.
can't remember, Simon. You
Work
can
over.
help me. Yeah, I think you could make a loop where nobody wins.
Yeah.
That it just end up in a draw. So yeah,
Yeah. And then we have a
This-
question from the chats. Ghost Thou Nee asks, "What are you doing? Hello, what are you doing?" And we're saying, yeah, we're actually just sitting and chatting about combos. So yeah, that's what we're doing, Ghost Thou.
Great
So-
question, I'd say.
Yeah. So I just put a picture up on the screen where we saw a combo deck in the broadest sense possible, that it's actually a burn deck, more or less, with Underworld Dreams. and Black Vices, where you actually try to kill your opponent simply by throwing spells to his head. And in the definition, it's something that actually doesn't really care about what your opponent plays, because it just tries to as fast as possible give the 20 damage. So I thought that was actually a quite nice idea also.
Yeah, and it's a deck I played in a tournament a year ago or something, and I did well with it because it's a powerful deck with a lot of burn spells in it, and burn decks are somewhat great, especially when you add power. But I think it's an interesting question whether this is actually a combo deck, because are burn decks combo decks? Because there are no, I mean, by Henrik's definition, there are no deliberate combinations of two cards or more, and they're not really though. And there's no loop, but it plays almost as a combo deck because, as you said, Simon, you really don't you don't put much interest in your opponent's play.
Yeah,
You just burn his dice.
yeah,
Um, so it was a picture I sent you to stir up some debate
yeah.
because I'm not sure I would define it as combo.
No.
I also think that there's the animator deck with All Hallows Eve and the Bazaar of Baghdad's.
Mhm.
And I also think that's would be defined as a combo because they help each other out, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, reanimator decks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would again, I'd say that would again be a kind of a broad definition of combo. But I mean I don't disagree with you because the word combo is very very broad in the sense that it just means combination, and
Yeah.
I'd say. Of course, it's just not just combination because every deck is a combination of 60 cards plus a sideboard, so that doesn't make much sense. But of course, it's a combination that gives you an advantage.
Yeah, but I think sometimes when you play a control deck, and if you know that your opponent is playing what I would define as a combo deck, is that if I can disrupt one of these combo cards, this makes it much easier for me to win because I've broken something in my opponent's deck with which if you have a burn deck, if I counter a lightning bolt, I haven't broken your combo. But in a reanimator deck, if I can counter your All Hallows Eve, well, all the cards you discard just
Hmm.
keep being in your graveyard and you're not able to win. The same thing goes for like I remember the first time I played against this deck and I didn't really know what it was about, but it was the Winter Orb combo with the Relic Barrier.
Yeah.
And then they played like Howling Mines and Black Vice, and I just started countering and disenchant all over the place. But I found out that if I just went for the Relic Barrier, then my opponent wouldn't get any advantages. So I had all my counter spells and all my disenchant. If I could just use them on the relic barriers, then we would be even Steven. So I think that if you define a deck like a combo deck, that means that your opponent has an ability to disrupt the main key of the combo and then be like even the odds, heighten the odds even more because there's something broke in the opponent's deck.
That's really, I think that's really a very that's a great definition of a combo deck actually. It's just that it's maybe not okay. Now I'm going to make your great definition a bit better, but by saying in just one sentence that it's a deck that is easily disruptible. I mean, it won't really gather all the things you said, but I think you're onto something because that is exactly what takes the burn deck away from the pile of combo decks. Um, it also puts the prison decks, as you just said, in the pile. But I mean, it's kind of a no, but I think it's a great definition actually.
Yeah. And sometimes I think that we discuss combos and synergies more or less like the same thing, you know? Because if two cards work good together, or several cards work good together, then we simply call them combo. Yeah.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that we still have some kind of I don't know hive mind knowledge about what actually constitutes a combo, because a Serra Angel with the Spirit Link on it is a very great synergy for winning a game.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you have a counter spell in your hand. But that's not none of us, I guess, would call it a combo ever.
No.
No.
But it's just a game-winning board stance.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Simon, that with what you said. Sorry. Um, because we do sometimes just call synergies for combos, and that kind of borders out the phrase, I think.
Yeah. And we have one here says that saying combo is normally doing something that has some sort of like built-in cheat, like the reanimate or time vault combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Combo is cheating.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I guess that a lot of people don't like playing against combo. I mean, I would know. I have played combo decks for 20 years, and I have had a lot of frustrated opponents throughout the years.
Yeah.
I don't quite get it, but I mean, I'm not more mad by losing to a combo deck than I am by losing to I don't know, an aggro deck, or especially not a control deck. I hate losing to control.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we have Yelpy. He says, enduring renewal from Ice Age, like the Kobolds from Legends and Ironstar from Beta, was the first combo deck that he played.
Yeah.
So that's again, sacking and playing and getting life. Yeah.
Yeah, so many great combos. We should also play pre-modern. I hope many of you do. There are a lot of these combos are there too.
Yeah.
And almost playable.
Almost playable. Yeah.
But I think that sometimes the strength of the combo defines if it's fun to play against or not. Because if you look at some of the new cards that are getting printed, and they just get banned before sometimes before you even get the card, and build a deck around it, they get banned, and that's just because some cards are just too powerful. Or some combos are just. I remember the first combo that got, I think, restricted or banned. It was like the Necropotence and the Illusion of Grandeur, and then they donated the Illusion of Grandeur to the opponent, and they weren't able to pay the upkeep, and they just lost. And that obviously was too much powerful combo to have around, because it didn't create fun games. So I think also that if it's a combo that's possible to break in most decks, so the most decks have a fighting chance against these combos. I think that's what sometimes Wizards trying to do, but get wrong a lot of times with the new cards. But I think that when you say something is fun, it's fun when you can see that you have the opportunity to break it. But if you make a bad play, well, then it's on you. But I think that it all depends on having the opportunity to break the combo.
Yeah.
If it's fun to play
agree.
against. Yeah.
I agree a lot, but the reason I said as I did before is that I have also experienced long games. Also in old school, I played what was it, Basalt Monolith, what was it called, Power Monolith.
Yeah.
Power Monolith deck, and it's not the most powerful combo deck in the world. It's a great deck, and I played, of course, full power, and I even had counter spells and so on and so forth. So it was really a control combo deck, and I played against an Unarmageddon deck, which was also with blue, and he had a lot of disenchants, of course, and so on. And it was a very long game. He played a Blood Moon, I think. Wow. Okay. So he was on a deck with many outs, and still he was very frustrated with the game. I ended up winning, but it was a long game, and I had to demonitude it for a blue Mox to throw my blue elemental blast at his Blood Moon to have any fighting chance, and then I had to regrowth for demonitude to find another. And I mean, it was a long game, and I was at 4 life, I think, when I fireballed his ass to oblivion. But I mean, that I thought that was a great game, I thought it was very exciting, and it was on the fence all the time. And this is just to make one example. I have had several of these examples, and there's, I think combo as an archetype is the most. I think maybe prison slash stacks is even more hated on, but I think stack or combo is really hated on by a lot of players. And I don't, at least in old school, I don't quite get it because they're not that fast. They're not impossible to attack with.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with you. In old school, I don't think it's a problem, but Simon and I have played a lot of vintage,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's a
sometimes
whole other story.
sometimes some of the cards just get restricted too late.
Yeah,
Yeah, so but I think in old school I don't see a problem with the monolith because it's like three cards you have to combine together,
yeah,
and that means that your opponent has a lot of outs to disrupt it or to win before you go off.
exactly. Yeah,
So
especially
yeah,
because you don't quite play brainstorm and the likes, so it's
yeah,
not easy to find the three cards.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, when you have played a combo for like so many years, what's your favorite combo?
That's a good question. I think I played Legacy Storm for some time, and it was very much fun when Anorsium was printed and they hadn't banned Mystical Tutor yet. Damn, that was a fun period. Excuse my French, but I
Yeah,
mean the mystical tutor into an awesome in the upkeep and cracking lion's eye diamonds and all that shenanigans. That was fun, and it was a crazy strong deck.
Yeah.
yeah,
That I played that a lot. I'm not a great Magic player, so each time played the mirror, I lost. So I mean, but it was a great deck, and
yeah,
also I really enjoy playing the Twiddlewall deck in old school. I think
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fun deck too.
yeah.
So, yeah. But what about you, Henrik and Simon? You also you played combos. I mean Simon is more of a control player in my view, but but that may only be in old school.
Yeah. I don't think I really ever played combo. I like control decks, but the deck that I have the most fun with is two decks. The one was the first one was with the Simon, you have to help me out. It's with Trinket Mage and Auric Salvagers,
Yeah.
Oh
where you
yeah,
got infinity mana with the Lotus, and you could just with the spell bombs you could draw your whole deck and you can just kill your opponent. That was the first really combo deck I played.
Bomberman.
uh, Bomberman, yeah. And I think that the name was great.
Yeah,
But then I switched when some of the cards got restricted and stuff like that, and I played like Welder, Goblin Welder,
yeah,
and I think that was just one of the decks that I've had the most fun playing ever. Also because I like the artwork, and I got to play with my favorite card of all time, which is Triskelion. So I was pretty happy with that deck,
Yeah.
and I didn't really win anything with it. I think I won one tournament, but that was more because of when the Time Vault combo came with the Tisseret the Seeker.
mm,
Uh, so yeah, and I think I played you in the final, Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those were the two like combo-ish decks that I played, which was competitive. I don't think my sneak attack deck was ever competitive. Uh, uh, so that's the I actually have to say that I think that the storm decks are great, but because of my name, I actually chose not to play it because every time I met someone, they always thought that I played it. So I
yeah.
thought that I would have a heads up if I didn't. So yeah, and
That's next leveling.
yeah, and in old school, I don't really think I ever played a combo deck. I played the deck, and I've tried a bit creating some other decks, not with so much success, but I'm still working on it. So yeah,
Yeah. And my favorite was Dragon Combo.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love that one, to be honest? So I think that was a good deck in Vintage, but it died away because there was so much, because the Dredge deck came and there was always Graveyard Hate, which meant it was a bad deck suddenly. So I stopped playing that. And here in the Singleton, I actually played a Power Monolith deck, so okay, only 2 cards in the whole Singleton deck, but I played it, so I guess that would be my next choice, because also the other deck that I made was also a Time Vault Power Monolith deck, so yeah, I think that's a very good combo.
Yeah.
So
And speaking of Time World, because I wanted to talk to you about that, because Twiddle Vault is another one of these fun combos, because I put it in the deck at some point, just when it was still restricted in Swedish rules, old school,
yeah,
the vault. Then I put just one vault in and 4 Twiddles in that deck. I can't remember. I think it was actually my Power Monolith deck. I found the space for it. And then in a tournament, I played, I think, the Time Vault, and then I twiddled it for 3 rounds in a row, and I did nothing, and then I died. Because that's, I mean, it's one of those combos. I mean, I don't know why I didn't figure it out, but the point is that the only reason why the Twiddle Vault works is because you have Howling Minds and Sylvan Libraries. I mean, it's obvious, but it's just to say that Twiddle Vault isn't really a 2-card combo, because if you just play your Vault and you twiddle it, then great, you have another land drop. But I mean, that won't win you
yeah,
any games.
no,
So you really have to do something that also gives you an advantage.
yeah,
So think, yeah, Simon, you have the. I think it's one of Svante Landgraf's deck lists. He didn't mean to play 61 cards, but he did.
yeah,
I wouldn't play the exact same list, but it's a great deck, and I mean, it only works when you when you have more than just the twiddle and the
yeah, yeah, yeah. It needs to be, yeah, combined with the Twiddle and the Howling Mines and recalls, and yeah, so it has to be like a complete package.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I also think that that's fun because normally, if you would play such a deck, you would think that the combo is like Twiddle and Time Warp. So if you're a control player, you would go after these 2 cards, and you would be making a huge mistake, because maybe the card you should be going after is Howling Mind
Yeah.
or Sylvan Library.
Yeah, depending on the situation, of course, but because Howling Mind is also very beneficial for you if you're the control player. But of course, I totally agree. It's difficult. It's dangerous to just focus on the vaults, especially now that it's unrestricted, because there will be another. And
Yeah,
if you let the libraries and the mines live, then the combo player will have an advantage, especially if you're heavy control. I mean, the deck, for example.
Yeah.
yeah. And what is your favorite creature combo and why? Asks Nils Tim. Hi, Tim. Welcome.
In old school, because creature combos in old school, I can't even. Yeah, actually, that's not true. I have made a really horrible. I guess I may want to try it in an online tournament where no one can see me deck. It's a green black reanimate. Anyway, priest of Yorkmoth, isn't that his name? He can tap to sacrifice an artifact creature, and you gain black mana equal to the
Yeah,
creature's casting cost. Yeah, and the entire point is to, I mean, sack that could be sushi, for example. Then you would have 8 mana in your mana pool, and then you could play, for example, the Colossus of Sardia. And then next turn you could do something crazy with Berserk or something. It's a horrible deck, but it's creature combos all the way throughout somewhere. I
yeah,
don't know where it ends, but yeah, it ends with a drain life actually, because you make black mana. So when you priest your Colossus of Sardia, then you just drain life your opponent to oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I would,
thought.
I would actually say, I don't know if it's like a combo, but I think that the Guardian Beast with
Oh
the
yeah,
Chaos Orb, I think that's a great combination of 2 cards working very well together. And I must admit, when I started playing Magic, my favorite card was like Royal Assassin, and we didn't know that you had to shuffle your decks so they were randomly. So we thought that you could just put them together like you wanted, and then just shuffle 3 times. So I always put like Mana Vault, Icy Manipulator, and Royal Assassin, and Dark Ritual, and then some land stuff. But it never worked. But because Royal Assassin was so easy to kill, but the combo was tap something, destroy it. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
That's
when
the
we found
greatest use of non-shuffling magic I've ever heard, I think.
yeah, but we didn't know. We didn't know. There wasn't the internet back then. But the fun
No,
thing
no,
was,
but that was the most powerful thing you can think of. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a great story from the olden days of magic. I love it.
yeah, but we all did it. So yeah.
Yeah.
And the fun thing when you when we found out that you couldn't do it, that just make the deck even more horrible. So yeah,
Yeah. That's quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine would, of course, be like Time Vault with Instill Energy and Animate Artifact on.
That's almost cheating, Simon.
Wasn't that the definition of a good combo?
Yeah. Okay, great. I like what you did there.
well, also with Instill Energy, I also tried to build a deck once with Demonic Hordes and Instill Energy, and I really like that.
Yeah, your opponents didn't.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They hated it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
they should. I mean, it's this instant energy is actually when we're talking about combo in old school. Instill energy is an interesting card because that's another. I mean, if you put it on a Birds of Paradise, it's also a great card. If you put it on Colossus of Sardia, if you somehow manage to get it on the field,
Yeah.
it's a great card. If you have it on Birds of Paradise and you have a stasis in play, you're actually cheating again, because you're denying your opponent an unstep phase. I mean, instant energy is a great card in many aspects, or at least a fun card to brew around.
Yeah.
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 And Nils says his favorite creature combo is the Coffin and either Trisk or Tetrus.
Yeah.
So that's also seems like a decent solution.
Yeah. Oh, I was read by the Coffin in the Singleton Doom tournament.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember all the text in the card.
Yeah. It's also a wall of text on that card.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think that the picture itself reminds me of the movie Aliens, because it looks like the things that they are lying in when they are in outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It could actually.
you also write a lot of articles.
A lot of might be a bit.
Some articles.
Yeah.
What's the inspiration behind writing?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think I have something with words, as you may have noticed for the last half hour, because I can't stop putting them out there. But I really like writing, and I don't do it that much in my work. And when I get home from work, I have a lot of kids and I have two, and a house and so on. So and then sometimes, I mean, I really enjoy Magic content on the internet, especially old school content, because that's really the only format I play these days. And I thought, well, I think I'm a rather okay writer, I guess. So therefore, I think that's where I can contribute and make some content. Some of it is interesting, I guess, and something is just me writing. So I guess the inspiration is just from me wanting to write something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is the same for me, but I just don't write. So I take the easy way out and just sit here and with people I like and talk. I fucking love that.
Yeah, me too. This is awesome.
So, but if I could write, I would, of course, love to do it. But shit, my writing is like really, really poor. My in the school, my Danish teacher said, "You will never amount to anything," and she was right. Until I actually had what's it called? Steel?
A
Essay.
paper.
A paper
it's
I handed
paper.
in where I I had written 2 pages, and then suddenly the hero, he just dies. He got shot, and that's just the end of the story. And she was like, "That was actually brilliant of you, Simon. I've never seen that before." And I was like, I didn't tell her it wasn't because I didn't want to write anymore, but
And she didn't tell you that she was just really glad that it was over.
yeah, I'm thinking the same. Yeah.
Sorry. But,
So,
but
yeah.
yeah, I really I like to write, so that's yeah. So I try to do it best as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think before we actually played the Illusionary Mask as a very interesting card, but in old school, I don't really think that it does anything interesting. Does it? No.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, with the what's it called, scryings, we have some opportunities if anyone plays scryings, but yeah.
Yeah, no, we actually, I don't think many play scryings in Denmark at least.
No.
And also with NewCon being like cancelled, which was the biggest scrying tournament. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's see, what did I have else on the paper? 2 card combos. Yeah.
2 card combos.
Yeah. Before there was, I actually read an old article about 2 card combos in Magic, and that was actually an old bulletin board written back in actually the end of '94 or start of '95, where it has like a really big list of combos, but that was more like gender, saddlebag, and a creature. It's like, is that really a combo? But I guess it is, because then you can attack with a creature and then untap it. But yeah.
It's not a combo. It's just it's just what the card does.
Yeah.
It's just gender saddlebags.
Yeah. And I read through this whole list. I was like, But yeah, I really didn't think that none of those were actually cheating. But
Gender saddlebags can be cheating, but you have to do something more than just put it on a, I don't know,
Well,
Royal Assassin. There you have it, Henrik.
yeah, but what if I think that there actually is a 1 card combo in old school, and I think it's like the Cyclopedian Tomb, because if your opponent's not playing a black mana or swamps, then if you could get it out really quick, you could actually cut him off from his mana source. And I know that Blood Moon maybe does the same thing, but it has to be non-basic lands. The Cyclopedian Tomb just makes them, swamps right away, right?
Yeah.
yeah, then you should play the alpha version, because that's really nice to get into play.
Yeah.
What's it with the alpha version?
It doesn't have
Is
any
it
mana
cheaper?
cost.
It doesn't have a casting cost. It's free. Or actually, you can play it, because when cards don't have casting costs in the upper right corner, you can't play them.
Yeah.
So you have to put it into play by some means. I can't.
Yeah,
Really.
okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, Goblin Welder, there you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, or else it costs like 4 mana,
Yeah.
in the other versions. Channel Fireball, yeah, that's a great 2-card combo also.
Yeah, I think I can't remember who I wrote that to, but it's of course it's obvious, and it's maybe maybe it's the most, I mean the most combo-ish combo, but when you think about it, it's not. I mean, is it really a combo? I mean, Channel is maybe a one-off combo card, because in a lot of decks it would be crazy bonkers to play, because I mean, turn 2 Channel into Juggernaut. That's really a really good start, and that is of course also why it's restricted and has been for 25 years or something like that. Because it is just a really powerful card, and Channel Fireball isn't really a combo, because what can you do with those 2 cards? You can't do anything. You have to have at least 1 red mana source besides the 2 green mana sources. And then what can you do? Then you can't
Yeah.
kill an opponent. You have to have even more mana. So it's I mean, of course, this is the epitome of combo, because if you also have the Black Lotus, then you can kill in your opening hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, but I think that if you consider mana, there is actually no combos if you if you don't have mana.
No. Of course there isn't. No. You're right.
So, but I think that it's one of the. I think that every time somebody uses that combo on you, you always get amazed. Like I
Yeah.
think I in the singleton, I got killed by it, and even though I got killed and that was not so fun, but I just got a smile on my face because it's very it's not so many times that people actually pull it off. So even when I see people pull it off, even if it's on me, I'm actually happy for them because yeah, because it's actually quite difficult to do.
It is. It is. And it's
Yeah.
a great. I mean, I think in the Singleton Doom tournament this June, I think I killed. I mean, I played four matches, as we all did. Yeah, because I had people that were better than me, and I think I made maybe 6 or 7 kills with that combo. Um, because even though it was singleton, I just it was some very long games. No, maybe not 6, 5 kills, I guess. It was some very long games, and then of course I had both the disintegrate and the fireball, so that was double up. But I found the
Yeah.
channel many times, and it's just, I mean, in singleton it's great because there's oftentimes, at least that's my experience from this tournament, there's a very locked board state, and you can't really do anything, and his Sir Angel will block your Sir Angel, and you won't get much out of it, and then suddenly, boom, there's a channel and a fireball, and then you're done.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that also for the people here that maybe hasn't seen it, that also made someone talk about maybe banning channel, because they thought it was annoying to die to a channel out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Let's not discuss bannings.
Yeah.
I don't think that would get us very far.
Yeah.
No.
I think the Lich and Mirror Universe is quite cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, because it's also like it has good synergy, not combo as such, but if you're at 0 life and choose with your opponents, and you get 20 life, draw 20 cards, and he just dies, that seems awesome.
That's
Unless
okay.
you draw the rest of your deck, and
Yeah,
it's not so good.
But I mean, Lich is always awesome. It's just such a great card. Oh no, it's not a great card. It's a cool card. It's not that great.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah. And then we have other classic versions like the Underworld Dream decks is also a very good deck, to be honest.
It is. And it's another fun combo, because then there in that deck the combo is just Underworld Dreams,
Yeah,
and then you build the deck around it. Just as we talked about earlier, the Tendrils decks of Legacy and Vintage, they don't have 2 card combos as such, or 2 or 3 card combos as such. They have 1 card they wish to resolve, and then in the for the Storm decks they want to do a lot before the 1 card, and for the Underworld Dreams deck they want to do something after the 1 card resolves. But it's
yeah,
really just 1 card they want to resolve, and that's a combo deck, because that's another thing we haven't really touched that much upon, because there's a difference between, I think there's a difference between a combo and then a combo deck, because a combo, as we have touched upon somewhat, is it can just be a synergy between 2 or more cards that is maybe easily disruptible. But a combo deck is a deck that is entirely built around the one sole purpose of getting out maybe 1 card or 2 or 3 cards. And, I mean, there's a difference between a combo deck and a deck with a combo in it, I think.
yeah,
But that can be.
yeah. Because a fun combo you can just have like a one-off, whereas a combo deck is everything is like narrowed into
Yep.
doing that thing, and then you actually only do that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
and then you're also more easily disrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they call the glass cannon.
Yeah, glass cannon decks. Oh, I love them. Oh, I played a lot of Belcher. You asked me what my what my favorite deck was. Not okay.
Yeah.
Belcher wasn't my favorite deck, but damn, I played it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate it in Vintage because now they can just kill you before you even get your turn because of the blue ley line, I think. Then they can play it like, and it comes into play if it's in your starting hand. And if they are able to, they can just in your in your upkeep, they can just kill you. Yeah, I
That
hate that.
that doesn't sound like much fun. I
No,
agree.
it's not fun.
No.
I tried. We were at a tournament, and he killed me both turns. The first one in his own turn, and the second one in my first turn. Yeah,
Yeah,
but at least I got a long break.
yeah, yeah, great. But that's also I think that's one thing that old school has uh, that's one of the appealing things of old school for me at least. That's one of the reasons why I like to play old school. I actually love it. It's because there is really no degenerate things going on in old school. You can always follow what is going on. At least if you
Mm,
can read the wall of text that is on coffin. But
Yeah.
I mean,
mm.
the thing you're talking about, Henrik, that is just simple degeneracy, and that is not very much fun. I mean,
No.
when
No.
there's absolutely no interaction between the players, it's not even Magic anymore because, I mean, Magic is, at least in my opinion, about interacting with the person on the other side of the board.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
If I do like to play combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the solitaire games, not so interesting. But
No.
when you have a chance to do something, yeah, I like them more. Even though the opponent is playing solitaire, but as long as I get to do something, it makes me
Exactly.
at least a little bit more happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As long as you can get to 2 blue mana, at least in old school, or as long as you can
Yeah.
have a force of will in your hand or something like that, and that is enough because that's not always enough. One force of will.
Yeah. Then we had the Tax Edge deck.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I know it's a combo deck in old school.
Yeah. There we also like to draw many cards.
Yeah, I don't know if I should say that I think you posted the picture I sent you, right? I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
if
yeah.
this is a stock list. I have never played the deck. I just found this list online somewhere.
Yeah.
But I guess the point is to slam a land tax and get to draw a lot of basic lands and then shoot your opponent with land's edge,
Yeah.
and then actually play some kind of control around that.
Yeah. They in this deck they play both the Wrath of God and also the Armageddon. So it's
And I also
Yeah.
think they play Ivory Tower sometimes, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
this deck
Yeah.
also has
two ivory towers and two the what's called the where you can have X cards extra on your hand.
Library of Lane.
Library of
Yeah.
Ling, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess one of the great things about this deck is that it's in its core it's a control deck, or not maybe not as yeah actually I think in its core it's kind of a control deck. I mean creature decks has some kind of trouble against this deck because there are four sorts of plowshares. There are two Wrath of Gods, and land's edge can also kill creatures as far as I remember.
Yeah.
So it is actually a control deck, and then you just ping your opponent at some point or kill him. You also play lightning bolt, right?
Yeah, 4 lightning bolts.
Yeah. I mean, a creature deck against this is actually it's very hard for a creature deck, I guess, to win against this.
Yeah.
So that's the odd combo controller. I don't think it's odd. At least not in old school. I think in old school when you play combo, you have to have some kind of control.
Yeah.
Parts of your deck. Otherwise, you will simply die to your opponent's disenchant
Mm.
Yeah.
or counter spells or whatever.
Mm.
But it's an interesting deck for actually it's I mean the list I sent you it's of course it's powered and therefore quite expensive, but without the three power cards it's not that expensive a deck to build actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how good it is, but I've seen it perform rather well.
Yeah, I've seen it too, and it's sometimes difficult to handle
Yeah,
just
yeah, it
because
is.
it goes out of control, you know. So
Yeah,
I think that it was in the finals in the first Doom tournament,
I think you're right
wasn't it?
actually. Yeah,
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 yeah. Oh yeah, that's when he died to triple berserked
yeah, yeah,
something 14
yeah,
pages or whatever it was.
yeah,
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 yeah, that's memorable.
yeah.
But yes, you're right. It was actually at least some kind of text edge. I'm not sure if it was. Yeah, it was some kind of text edge at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So not a bad thing. I think you have to practice with it. I don't think
Yeah.
you can't just pick it up and play it correctly. I think it's difficult to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I actually think that a lot of decks are more difficult to play well, because we had like Alban Lauder on last time, and he also has a deck that he played a lot, and he also said that sometimes when other people played, they just tell him that they don't get the same results.
Mm.
And I agree, because defining a good Magic player, I think, is somebody who is very good at playing every deck. Uh,
Hmm.
I would say that I'm a good player at playing the deck that I play, because I play it a lot. Uh, and I've tried in the past to play other decks, and even though I've seen other people play them well, I, I, I couldn't really get them to work. I've seen a lot of people play oath decks very
Mm.
well, and I've lost to oath decks many times. And when I played them, they didn't work. I played a lot of stacks in vintage against Nils, and somehow Nils always makes it work, and I couldn't make it work. So yeah, I think that you have to find out what kind of a player you are, and if the goal is to be good at playing one deck, I think you really have to commit to playing the same deck. But then again, if you think it's fun to play a lot of different decks, I think that's the thing you should do. But then again, you have to have a big card pool to pull it off. Uh, yeah, and I don't think that a lot of people have that opportunity in old school because of the prices.
You're
Uh,
right.
sadly, yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. I can't really. I'm really bad at playing Magic. I've only done it for 23 years, and I still make ridiculous mistakes that I should not be doing. But I have never. I mean, I have never practiced with one deck. Well, that's not true. I did it with the Legacy Storm deck I told you about earlier. But
Mm.
in old school, I branched out a bit. I won't say I have a very broad collection. I don't have many creatures, I must admit. But I have a lot of the cards for the different decks we're talking about tonight, and that also means, I mean, you're right. It means that I don't play any of the decks perfectly, not even near perfectly. Um, but I enjoy playing different decks.
Yeah, and I would say, because right now Simon and I are playing in the summer derby,
Hmm?
and it's allowed to play. Oh, I always Fallen Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Fallen Empire. Yeah, and I played the deck, and I had to make some other version of my deck because of the Atlantic rules, where you're allowed to play the 4 workshops, and mana burn is a thing.
Oh,
So I couldn't play my Suchis, so I had to figure out somehow to compensate. And I must say I've done it horribly. I hate the choice I've made, but I was actually playing the last round, the last match I played against someone else who also plays the deck, and we started talking about his version of it, and he actually played Hymn to Torak in his deck, and I think it was in his sideboard, or maybe he had one in his main deck. But he actually said that it was much better than Red Elemental Blast, which I had in my deck, and I had to agree with him that he totally, beat me. I didn't have any chance whatsoever, even though that I think that I had a good chance against him because I've played the deck so much that I don't do so many mistakes. But just the opportunity for him to have a card in his deck that I didn't see was good in this kind of deck. Even though I know the card is very good and I hate it when it's used against me, I didn't really see it as a card that I should be playing. But that's something again that if you know the meta and the art of sideboarding, and I think that that's only something that's a knowledge that you only get by really testing a deck and not just testing a deck against the same player. So if Simon and I play against each other always, well, we only know what the matchup is good for when we play each other, but that doesn't mean that it's good against everybody else. And I also think that uh, testing with your sideboard, also if you play a combo deck, we actually played against a deck down in Italy. It was an old school deck with the millstone and the blue enchantment where you can see the top card of both players' decks.
Telepathy. No,
No, it's not
telepathy.
telepathy.
Oh no,
No,
that's
it's
the new
No,
one. No,
that's a newer one.
no, it's just the same. I can't remember the
Field
legend.
of, I think it's called Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Yeah, sounds right.
And he played this and he had no creatures in his deck. It was just a combo deck with the only point of it was to mill your opponent. And I lost the first match, and I think, okay, I'm going to take all my artifact hate in and all my creature removal out. And he just pulled a number on me, and he sideboarded Surrender Befritzen, and he sideboarded Do Some Gins and some other creatures, and I had nothing to, no removal at all, and I didn't have a chance. So I also think that that was just like, and luckily I played him in the semifinals, and Simon knew his trick in the finals, so Simon beat him in the final. But I think that it was the funniest thing to do,
Yeah.
and
And he went all the way to the finals.
yeah, so he pulled that number on a lot of players. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that even to me that was just like, well, that's okay to lose in that fashion. So yeah, but again, it tells something about being able to play a deck well. You really have to know the meta, and you really have to know which cards to sideboard in and which cards to sideboard out. And I actually think that one of the combo decks with Lance Edge is that the Lance Edge combo is actually in the sideboard in some of the builds. And I also think that's a great way to go sometimes, because for your opponent to sideboard correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can be very transformational and be almost aggro decks or something like it. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I don't have so many questions more. And we've been here for almost an hour now. The question is, does anybody in the chat have any questions or comments or anything? No? How about you guys? Emil, do you have anything saying before leaving?
Not really, no. I thank you for letting me be here. It was a blast. I would I'd love to do it another time. It was really. I think it was really. It was a nice conversation. I hope someone got something out of it. At least I did. I think.
I did also.
Definition of combo was great. At least.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you.
And I also have a question for you, Emil. I can't remember if I asked you it before because we talked in some kind of other tournament or something. But what's your favorite card and why?
It's so difficult. I don't think I don't think I have a favorite card actually. It's very.
We have actually allowed a person to name two because he also thought it was very hard. I think it was Goblin Mason, and he had also another card, but that was because his name was Mason.
Nice. It is really difficult. I would say I think Howling Mine actually. I love to play Howling Mine, but I haven't been disenchanted that much. So That's probably why. But I put it in all my decks, all my burn deck and my combo decks and my strange control Arborea decks. So yeah, so I'm looking to find myself a playset of beta Howling Minds, but yeah,
Yeah.
It's not that cheap.
not that cheap anymore.
Yeah. Then we have a question here on the last moment. What do you guys think of the Living Plane combo with Falling Star? Making all your opponent's lands creatures and then Falling Star them all to death. Because you can play 4 of Falling Star, right? I don't think it's restricted.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand the question of what I think of it. I mean, it's if you can pull it off and you can kill 3 or 4 of your opponent's lands, I think it's a great combo, even though your opponent really won't like you for it. But yeah, and I also if the question is is it a combo, I would say yes, it's a combo. It really is.
Yeah. I agree. And also just the thing that you can play 4 of. It's like
Okay,
awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must. Is it Nils who asked the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played against Nils, and okay, I must say that I think it's not so fun when it happens, but I also think that it's a combo that's hard to pull off because I think also he played Triskelion in this deck.
Yeah, and Timmy's and bolts.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's sometimes when you like some combos and you like some cards, you sometimes get stuck on it. And well, I don't think that it's a winning combo, if I can say it in that sentence. But I think I haven't played it, but I must think that it's very, very sweet and a good feeling when the combo is accomplished. But I don't like combos where it takes away from your win percentage. I like the thing I like about combos is when I don't necessarily think that it has to be easy or it has to be always good, but I think it has to be consistent. I think that if you're playing a combo deck, it has to be consistent to be fun to play. And I don't think that combo is consistent enough. That's my point of it. Yeah.
But it's also we have talked a bit about it, but I mean the I forgot what it's called, the Living Plane deck. It's really it's a great question whether it's a combo deck or not, because it's just a deck full to the brim of with great synergy. Again, with the synergy or combo, but because there's just so much synergy in that deck, but you have to pull it off with the Living Plane first, and then you can do all kinds of shenanigans.
Yeah. Then Juice is
But then
online.
again, I just say again, if you were playing a Living Plane deck, I would think that you would have a horrible matchup against Ernamgeddon, because they would just do the same thing to you, and every time it happens, they would just be faster and more quick to recover. And I think that their combo is like just getting some mana elves and Birds of Paradise out, and then Armageddon and play some great creatures, and the same thing about the land tax decks. I just think that they're more tuned in with synergy to pull it off than a Living Plane deck with the Falling Star is. Yeah, I think that just better versions of trying to do the same thing out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's too cute. The Living Plane is too cute. It's not necessary. But I really like those decks. On the other hand, I'm not playing against them because I never know what to do against them. But they look so old school in a sense. They look very messy in some way.
Messy
like
and
that.
bad. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say bad, but they look messy.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I have no further time is now 10 o'clock, and we've been at it for 1 hour. And yeah, I would like to thank you guys for coming. And
Thank you.
I'm not sure, do we have a summer break? Should we do that? Or should people do people?
I think it would be great because I'm on vacation next time
Yeah.
next week, so I can't do it there. But yeah, so for me
Yes.
it would be a great thing.
That means vacation for at least 1 week. So let's say that the next time we come together here is the 21st. Yes. And then we'll say goodnight to everybody and see you again on the internet or at a physical tournament.
Yeah. Bye.
Let's
Bye-bye.
Some physical tournaments.
Yeah.